What's good, YouTube? I'm sorry that the health bar is blocking Gigas. Anyways, this is the tutorial for Gigas. One of my personal favorite characters. I like him because he's fun, not because he's good. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's fun to use. Very fun. Before I begin, let me just say that you guys rated both of the other two tutorials, the Chloe and the Negan. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out. And all positive reviews. That's very humbling. Thank you. A lot of people gave suggestions on how to make it better, so how can I refuse that criticism? Thank you for that. It's very humbling, and it's good to see that you guys want to see the channel grow, and you guys like how good the tutorials are, so you guys want more of that. Yeah, so I'm gonna take all that suggestions in, and feel free to leave other comments if you guys feel as though there's more that I should do. Okay, so before that, we're just gonna begin. This is Stranger Danger from Silhouette Gaming, and I am pumped to do this video for you guys. You guys got me super pumped. Okay, so for his 10 frame, Gigas has the best jab in the game, no doubt. Yeah, best jab in the game. Jabs are normally like +1 on block, so it keeps you in check. Your opponent's gonna want to duck. I'm at block, and if Heihachi's floating, then you get an air combo super easily. You get to float that, so his jab is amazing, and that's one of the best things about Gigas. Okay, it checks your opponent, fishes for floats, yeah, all around solid. But then his 1-2, it's a knockdown 10 is very rare, and besides from a couple of people with meter who can launch you, this is yeah, one of the best 10 frame punishers. But also in season 3 it's one of the worst, because 10 frame punisher, that also gets you launched. This used to be, I think, -14, which is still really bad, but you got to take it. It's a knockdown. Your fastest panic move right here. But the problem is now, even if you do a panic move and then they block, you get launched, so you're dead. If you're already panicking, by the time you get launched for a combo, you're dead. So yeah, I don't know why they would nerf the weakest character in the game, like literally by far. But yeah, that's what it is. So that's launch punishable. That really sucks at that -17. It's a knockdown on hit, but sometimes, like in a combo, I do this just to throw them on wall. So it's actually pretty good on wall traveling. And yeah, it also breaks wall if you just want like a really quick 2-string to do it without using your float. So yeah, that's that. It is a high though, so on top of being launch punishable, they can also randomly duck and still launch you. So yeah, so if you guys don't like all these downsides to 1-2, you guys have 2-1. It is also a high, but it's actually safe at -4. So yeah, that's great, right? And it's +5 on hit. And as far as the stances, after this, we'll get to it in the stance section. You guys know I'm going to be thorough about that. I'm definitely going to be thorough about that. So for 13 frames, he has forward 1-2. By itself, it's pretty good at 20 damage. It's safe, and it's +6 by itself. Yeah. This is -9 on block, so after you do it, you kind of want to just chill out. Your opponent's gonna like really mess you up if you swing again. But on counter hit, he becomes godlike. He becomes a monster. So on counter hit, this turns from 20 to 64. Yeah. And this pushes you all the way to wall. Like if Heihachi has a wall behind him, this goes straight to the wall. And yeah, you're at such huge advantage that he actually gets a splat, and then you can do your combo, right? Whatever the combo is for you at the time. And yeah, so that's that move. It's good to note though that if the wall's very close, he won't get the full 64. he'll get whatever backsteps Heihachi gets till he hits wall, and yeah, that scales depending on distance. For 13, he also has down forward 3. Check this out. Move right here. It whiffs right there. Look at this. This, he can jab from here, but he can't do this, right? You know, he can jab from here, but he can't swing for that. This move has no range at all. For a character with, like, is made for range, that move has no range at all. It has a follow-up, though, with the 1. Yeah, it has a follow-up with the 1, so that's a safe high for 23 damage. And it's sort of a mix-up, just sort of, because he also has the mid. The mid by itself is minus 16. So yeah, that's pretty terrible. So if you don't want to get launched, then you can just do that. It's not great either way, because they can hold back to block literally both of that. You know, so it's not a true mix-up. But if you want to aim for the launch, go ball to the wall. You know, that's actually a launcher now, which is great. If you do this, sometimes your opponent will not launch you, even though it's minus 16, because there's a follow-up, which is the 1+2. Yeah, the 1+2 ends up being safe, but it's a very telegraphed string. Anybody who plays Gigas a couple of times will know that and just duck that high, you know? If they would have made this a mid, a lot better. If they would have made this a natural launcher, a natural string, a lot better, you know? It's a natural on counter hit, though. Yeah, it would have been a lot better. I think Marduk has something similar to that, and his is like both strings guaranteed. So I don't know why they didn't give that to him, but yeah, so that's that. Even though the second hit is launch punishable, you know. And I'm just gonna say this so that you guys can look forward to something in the future sections. There's a interesting float situation with that. I'll get to that in a bit. But we are on 14 frames. For 14, you have down forward 4. I love this move. Remember how bad this is? This move hits very comfortably far away. You know, like anywhere his jab can hit, he can probably hit too. It's very comfortable, even though he has like these weird bent chicken leg looking things. But yeah, it's very comfortable. It's safe. You know, one of my favorite moves. Yeah, the range is farther than expected, right? And it also got a follow-up in 1+2. The thing is, it only takes 36 frames to start off with. Look how slow that is. You can finish a sentence in that. I think I just finished a sentence in that. You know, so yeah, but it's +6 on block. So that's great. It's basically like that move, just by itself. Both of these are plus on block, you know. Yeah. So that's plus, but look at how slow he does it. Heihachi can literally hit you out of that, you know. And it's 36 frames, so what do you got to lose, you know? He can hit you out of that. But Gigas does back up a little bit. It has some form of crushing, but not really. You know, it's just a super slow move. Do it if your opponent just likes to like hold back till you finish your strings, because then you just collect plus frames. But if not, you probably shouldn't do it just like willy-nilly. Next you have your down 4-1. Yeah, remember when I said his jabs are really good? His down 4-1 is great also. Yeah, his down 4-1 is great. So it is -4 on, it's +4 on block, on hit, sorry. And it's -6 on block. Yeah. So yeah, really good mid jab. Really good mid jab. Then you have your 3. Your 3 is also a mid. Doesn't do anything here. On counter hit, it used to knock down. I wonder if it still does. Okay, that's probably 4 then, huh? Yeah, 4 knocks down. But yeah, 3 does 17, right? One of the enders to your wall combos, if you choose to do that one, is safe at -9, and then is also +2 on hit. So you get a little small frame advantage if you want to do something, you know. Yeah, so for 15 though, he has a pretty interesting move. Not down forward one, but he has not down forward two. Not down forward two, but down two. Down two is a very long range launcher. Yeah, it's very good. It's minus 14, so you have you have Paul launching you with back three. You know, you got Brian launching you if they're sharp. Yeah, so you got people launching you at minus 14. I've seen people launch with this if they're super sharp. Yeah. It's minus 14, but it is a far launcher. It's good on whiff. If your opponent's like whiffing something, Claudio standing over there, he's trying to bait me into a jump kick. Nah, son. You know. Yeah, whatever. It's a long range mid. And secondly, you have your down forward 2 this time. But why? Right? So this does like most of the work, and it launches you, and they're both the same speed. So unless you're trying to break wall with this, why? You know, why do this over down 2? You know. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. But they are both 15. Now for while standing punishment. For 11, instead of the 11 frame standing 4 like most people, he has a while rising 1. Look at Heihachi move back after the hit. Look how long it takes for him to get back to neutral. You know, this thing is like +6. Yeah, it's +6 on hit. This thing, I love this move. It's +6 on hit, and it's -7 on block, so you're completely safe. You get 17 damage out of it. Not big, not small, it's alright. But yeah, so you get a lot of plus frames on hit. What I really like about this move is, let's say if your opponent is jumping, that randomly floats all the time. You know, look at that. That's not even like an actual combo, but it actually has a combo meter somehow. You know. Yeah, so it's really good. You actually get your float, you get your combo. That happened to me all the time, you know. For 13, while standing, he has his 4 now. That knocks down on normal hit, as you guys can see, right? Yeah, and on counter hit, let me just say just this by itself, you get a crumple stun. So you get to actually follow that up. That's all I can say about that. It's 21 damage, mid. You know, and it can't hit Heihachi when he looks a little bit. Yeah. So that's that. But in season 3, man, did they give him a buff. That's a 13 frame Punisher from while standing. That's really nice. That's really nice. Both are guaranteed if the first one hits, but if the second one hits, it still knocks you down. So yeah, that's great. They both synergize really well. I like to do it on the wall combo. Really good. So it's 35 total, and get 35. Yeah, that's 35. On like Forbidden Realms, it breaks ground if you happen to block like most lows are like 12 or 13 or something, you know. So if you block a low right, you get a ground break, and then you can start your combo. Yeah, on wall it gives really good Oki. The problem with Gigas is not damage, because his damage is actually pretty strong. It's literally everything else. He's big, he's bulky, his frames are slow, you know. Bad sidestep, bad backdash. So yeah, everything else is bad, but it's not damage. So most of the time my wall combo consists of this. You know, I put that in there to get good Oki, and then I can continue my pressure so they don't exploit how bad he is, you know. Yeah, so that's my thing with that. For while standing 15, instead of a launcher like most characters, they either have 14 or 15 launchers. Some are blessed with 13, but yeah, instead of a 15 frame launcher, you get 2. And yeah, that's just it. By itself, it's -5 on block and +5 on hit, you know. But it actually got extensions, you know. I'll claim 19, whatever. But it actually got extensions. That's the 3. So from this is natural, you know, two hit, and yeah, that does 43. By itself though, the 3 also knocks down, so that's also really good. It's minus 13 on block. So you're eating a punish. Yeah, just remember that number, okay? Minus 13 on block. You're eating a punish. And yeah, the second hit knocks down. But if you guys want to do the stranger danger thing, if you guys enjoy doing a stranger danger thing, then you can do the supercharge. Yeah. So this is the hold 4 version of that, you know? And then you get a super crazy charge. Your opponent's at minus 19. Your opponent's at minus 19 on block, and it's a mid. But do you see how long it takes for Gigas to get hit? You can get counter hit by anything during that. During the charge setups, you get counter hit, you know? Yeah, but it gives you a guaranteed mix-up that I'm going to get to in the stance section. Yeah. Just a little information tidbit right here. This move is 56 frames to start with. It's 56. I mean, that's like duh, right? Yeah, so that's really freaking slow. That's really slow. But yeah, it pushes your opponent all the way back to the wall. Gigas loves taking your opponent to the wall, you know? So, can't really blame that. And then he finally gets a launcher at a 18 frame launcher. The range is pretty decent. He does move in, you know? The range is pretty decent, gotta say, but it's 18 frames though. It's 18 frames. This is the standing 3. Yeah, that's just a little bit too much. And do you remember when this is like minus 13? So it's yeah, it's way quicker. This is also minus 13. So you're also gonna eat a punish for this, but it's hella slow, right? Super slow. Yeah, so she's gonna continue eating that damage, and yeah, I don't know, you know. That's one of the slowest while rising launchers that you can have, next to like that, which you have to like duck and then you gotta launch, you know. Yeah, and like every character got some form of that, you know. Yeah, so super slow, but that's what you have. Gigas is a big guy. You would think they would emphasize more on like power crushes or like grabs or something, but yeah, they didn't do any of that. But he's a very big guy, so he has to have some sort of like slow things. I'm okay with him having that, but his while standing punishment is like complete garbage. Yeah. Anyways, this has been the punishment section. Yeah, so this part will be the pokes in a neutral game, and we're also beating up a young defenseless skinny lady. Yeah. So, you know, most characters, all characters actually, jabs are the most important thing, you know? Jabs and mid jabs, right, mainly. His jab is actually extremely good. Extremely good. Like, checks you as far as possible for jabs. Next might be like Jack or something, but yeah, like he stays like far range, you know? Yeah, so his single jab is 7 damage. Extremely fast, looks for pokes, checks your opponent, you know, plus on block, plus on hit, plus 8 on hit. And yeah, yeah, it's amazing. So next you have the 2-1. 2 by itself is the same as the 1 jab, you know, but it can get you in a stance. So from here he actually does high crush. So yeah, so from his jab he actually can start high crushing as big as he is, right? And then from his stance you actually could do a lot of different things. You can launch, you know, you can actually like wall bounce. Yeah, he has a lot of options from that. So that's his jabs, which are like the most important tools that he can do. Next will be his mid jab, his down 401. His down 401 is great, 14 frames, but it's extremely far, you know? Extremely far. Like, he checks you from super far away. 14 damage, 6 on block, you know, plus 4 on hit with extensions, though. So, you know, most people don't do the extensions. I don't know why, because his 10 frame, 10 string starter is actually his mid jab. So from that, a lot of people, they try to swing at me, and then I just keep them on block, you know? Because you don't know when I'm going to stop, you know? When am I going to stop, you know? So, yeah. So that's good. Sometimes you finish the whole thing, and it catches people completely off guard. They start panicking. Next you have his forward 2. This move is oh my, look at how far this is. Like, you're fighting somebody, right? Like, y'all both trying to figure out how to get in. He just counter hits you from so far away. Super far away. Forward 2 is a high though, but 20 damage. Yeah, it's a high 20 damage, but it's also safe at -9. Super far away, even if your opponent tries to punish it, be extremely hard, right? Yeah, and it's +7 on hit, and it's a counter hit launcher, so yeah. I can't really ask for more than that. It's extremely far. It catches so many people. And it also has some extensions. I also really like forward 2-1, which is not that. Forward 2-1. Now, the 1 actually extends farther. The 1 extends extremely far. You see that? This is extremely far. I might not even be doing max range. Well, that's probably max range then, yeah. It's extremely far, but it is a high. It's -3 and it's 6 on hit. So if the first move launches from that counter hit, the second hit starts to float and it starts the combo. So yeah, and you can actually get your combo from there, you know. But if the second hit alone, nothing. Get a spark. Nothing too great, but on block, let's see if I can do this. The second hit pushes you. It pushes them far, you know. So Gigas is back where he wants to be. You know, he's back in jab range. He's back in jab range, you know. He's back where he wants to be, and then they're pushed back a little bit. Gigas loves pushing people to the wall, you know. That's kind of like how he kind of has to play, and then he has to be kind of aggressive about it. Yeah, so it's safe. It got unsafe extensions though, but that makes it much more likely for your opponent to block, you know. So yeah, it has an extra extension with the down 4 with the 1+2. Yeah, extra extension, risky, you know. If you want to go a little bit slower than the regular one, you have the forward one also. The forward one, as you can see, is a crumple stun, right? And you can launch from that, right? Yeah, so that's a launcher on its own. If you guys remember the first hit, if the first hit counter hits you, the second hit is a launcher. Let's see if we can do that. Let's do this. That automatically launches them. But if the second hit hits by itself without counter hit, it's still a launcher. So the forward 1 alternative actually launches no matter what. Yeah, it's still high, so you know most of these strings are high. It's a 15 frame launcher though. Yeah, actual launcher. And then one of his best changes in season 3, back 1-2. Back 1+2 is a mid, is 30, so yeah, it's chunky, very chunky. He sways back a little bit too, has some crushing property, but it is hella slow, like Thor's sister, like hella slow, you know. Yeah, but it's +4 on block. This is my problem with this move though. Brian's back 1 on counter hit launches you, you know. Brian's back 1 on normal hit is pretty much like this. Negan's back 1+2 is pretty much like this. Counter hits you, you know, faster than this. Even dragging off like running 2 or something pressure tool related that's plus on block, launches on counter hit. Gigas doesn't really have nice things because this does the same thing, but it doesn't do anything on counter hit, you know. It's completely unnecessary. Yeah, just give him that too. Like, I don't know why that was like so hard to do, but it is really good range. Like, it doesn't look like it because of the headbutt, but yeah, like it is pretty decent range, you know. I think anywhere his jab can hit, it should also, like, you know, reach comfortably too. Yeah, so the range is great, but so is Brian's back 1, you know. Yeah, just something to think about. Like, it's not that, you know. And then you have another thing is 4-1-2. This is the other headbutt. This one is like this one is just for plus frames. This one is to go with that, right? just a quick note: if your opponent is at the plus frames after you do this, right? If they try to swing, I don't know why that didn't work. If they try to swing, that's guaranteed. You know, if they try to swing, yeah, you definitely will get that. But yeah, so this is a high 20 damage, 13 frame, right, as I mentioned before, and it's safe. You know, normal hit gives you even more frames. Look at her, she got a duck. But yeah, the counter hit, she gets that extra extension. So it's good to throw in the neutral randomly, you know, start rounds with it randomly. And you'd be surprised how many times this work online. So surprised. Where after you do one, you get that, right? Y'all both back in the neutral and they try to swing again, you get another counter hit. You know, I've killed somebody just doing this like 3 times. Just literally do it. Like, I don't know why people, they just let you do it. But yeah, so they try to swing back. I don't know why. And then, you know, you have your down forward 3. Although I didn't really like the range of this move. I don't think anybody do. It's fast at 13 frames, and you need fast moves to like stay relevant, stay fighting, you know. So yeah, this is relatively safe anyways. Good to throw in neutral. Sometimes you want to go balls to the wall and get risky, so that's that. Yeah, so the series is really fast. It got strings to confuse the opponent, you know. Yeah, so it has strings to confuse the opponent, and then you have the down forward 4. Like I mentioned, I love this move. This move is great. I thought this was like 12 frames when I first started, but I think I was thinking of the bears. You know, speaking of, look forward to that. Tutorial's gonna come. But yeah, so down forward 4. It's very consistent, you know, got the extra extension too for random hits, plus on block, but also, like I mentioned, this should be a counter hit launcher probably. Doesn't really do anything. Yeah, 12 damage, 14 frames, you know, it's safe. And I think it's like +7 or +8 or something like that on counter hit. It's extremely good. Yeah, I think that is like +7 or +8 on counter hit. But yeah, so randomly just throw that out on wall. Do this like 4 times. They will not expect it ever, you know. Nope. Most people with range isn't gonna like pass that anyways. Yeah. So that's the down forward 4, and then you have the back 3. I love the back 3 because first of all, it grants a knockdown, you know. That should work, right? Yeah, it grants a knockdown, you know. You get an extra hit. It's mid 26 damage. Yeah, but it is really slow. But Gigas is already a slow player, right? You wait till you get in your opponent's face when they block and he just bang, right? So why else is this good, right? So the reason is you guys are fighting, you know, you're staying at your range, right? You're staying at your range, and then pushes you back. You know, you're back where you want to be. If they're this close, pushes them back. So this move has amazing yeah, pushback potential. Like just push to the wall, just scare your opponent and do whatever you want, right? Yeah, so that's for that. Now the thing is, Marduk also has like a back 3, which is pretty similar to this move. Especially when like this game first came out, Gigas was supposed to be like the Marduk type character. I know people say he's not, but they have similar moves, you know, like extremely similar moves, you know. But yeah, so this back 3 from Marduk launches on counter hit. This just gives them a knockdown on normal hit or what, you know. So yeah, I would much rather prefer the counter hit launcher. But yeah, so that's back 3. It's still good nonetheless, and I do suggest you use it. And Gigas struggles in the homing department, so if you guys want to, you can do the sidestep too. But as you can see, even in far range, that didn't even reach, you know. Yeah, so like even in far range, that didn't even hit. But yeah, so this move's not that great. It whips all the time. You're at like such minus frames. Your opponent can just hit you during the whole thing. It's like, yeah, it's not that great. For such a big character that extends both his arms out, he sure can't hit the target, you know. Yeah, so that's sidestep 2. I would actually prefer it if, like, no matter what, he'll always at least touch the opponent even on block. But yeah, I think that's probably asking for too much. And then you have your running series. So now it's the running 2. Running 2 is great. You guys know that running moves leaves you a plus on block, right? So yeah, running 2 is mid, 30 damage. 24 frames to start up, but like you guys are far anyways. Depending on the hit, it could be like upwards of +7, but it always grants a knockdown anyways. Yeah. 442. 442 is extremely far. Extremely quick too. Like there are certain situations, you know, where like you will want to like use that. Yeah, but it's extremely quick too. Yeah, it just like explodes out of nowhere, and this is like how you should use the character, you know? Just random explosion. It's mid, 20 damage, 17 frames, and season 3 they actually blessed him with a buff where this is actually safe now. Why was it not safe before? I don't know, but it's actually safe now. Yeah, so that's great. Always grants a knockdown. Also aim for the wall splat with this move. It randomly works. Yeah, so then you have your forward 1+2. This is the big boy launcher, you know. The thing about this move is you see how both his hands flail together and it looks straight. This is actually a homing move somehow. Yeah, so that's his homing move. It's really good though, because although it is -16 literally launch punishable, it also has an extension so your opponent has to randomly block anyways, you know. It's 17 frames, but yeah, launcher, homing move, you know. Yeah, and it's also really useful for like wall traveling from like certain combos. Just like, you know, yeah, it reaches wall really far. Highly delayable. Very, very delayable. Yes. So yeah, your opponent has to sort of block sometimes. Yeah. And then forward 4. Why is that move good? That looks like it does almost nothing. Look at his legs. Because in the neutral, you're trying to get close to your opponent. Sometimes you'll want to just do that. They have to be on block, because if you know Gigas at all, that's a 42 hit launcher right there, you know. And on counter hit, this is guaranteed. You know, that's guaranteed. So yeah, he does a chunk. But this move has to be counter hit. But yeah, so you do this randomly, get in your opponent's face, and then they have to block because you don't want to block. This is guaranteed now, you know. The second hit launches no matter what. Yeah, the second hit will launch no matter what. So yeah, you kind of have to, but then that could play mind games on people, you know what I mean? And then just stop, just get close, whatever. Yeah, so that's his 4-4-4, which leads to amazing damage. Now you have his forward 3-2. Now this is all of his charge stuff. Forward 3-2. You know, that's the charge one. But if you don't charge, this is still natural. All that is still natural. But yeah, so if you don't charge, the 2 hits still will do that. If they're by the wall and they get hit with the 3, that's still wall splats. So yeah, it is -13. So yeah, use that sparingly. But it does grant a knockdown no matter what, you know. And then depending on how far you want to charge it, you know, you could throw your opponent completely off. Yeah, you kind of have to be good with Gigas' charge setups if you want to use them properly, you know what I mean? Like randomly after like you scare your opponent into blocking, then you also do the next thing, which is the back 2. Back 2 is the mid, 40 damage if you charge all the way. Oh man. And yeah, so 40 damage. This is 41 frames. It's extremely slow. It's just enough for your opponent to see it and like, oh snap, I should have swung. It's too late now though. Yeah, it puts you super plus on block. And yeah, no matter what, it grants a knockdown. Yeah, grants a knockdown. And then you have your forward 4. We'll talk more about the Goliath stance when we get into the stance section. But yeah, so this is a really far move, but the forward 4 actually like hits you even farther. Yeah. No tracking on it though. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad, but still a really needed move for Gigas. Like the charge setup is kind of like his thing, you know. It got the follow-ups the same thing as the back two. Yeah, so got the same follow-ups. Yeah. So lastly, for like in the neutral, I randomly like to do like any type of low. Right, we're about to get into the low section, but I like to do any type of low into like while standing one. While standing one is extremely good this season because it's like they buffed it like crazy. Kazumi got to keep like nogging her head back and forth like a bobblehead. Gives crazy plus, so then you're still attacking, you know. Yeah, so it gives crazy plus, you're still attacking, and yeah, the 11 frame, 17 damage. Catch floats, and Gigas is poor at catching floats. Because after like a lot of people, they try to like use mid jabs and stuff, right, down 401s, and it normally does continue a combo for most people, not Gigas. So every time I do this is like the best that he can do. Like just more of them, you know. Maybe this. Learning. So yeah, but nothing great, right? Nothing like an actual combo. Like let's say if like Fang catches a counter hit, a float with that, right? Float mid combo, he's definitely gonna convert that easily. But yeah, not Gigas. He's very stumpy. You know, let's see if this works. That does not work. That's not guaranteed. So yeah, that's him in the neutral with mids and highs. We're about to go to the low section. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just keep swinging at Chloe so she doesn't do the 1, 2, 3, you know. But yeah, so we're back with the low section. Yeah, so we're gonna do down 3. He actually does move in a little bit. I don't know why that didn't work, but yeah, he actually moves in a little bit. As you can see, he's a little step. Yeah, so down 3 is 18 frames, 18 damage, 16 frame. Yeah, 12 on block, which is standard for a low anyways, but it's actually -1, so you don't really get anything out of that. Yeah, but your opponent does want to block randomly because it has an extension. Yeah, down 2, down 3 too. This extension used to be better, but it's still pretty good. This extension, you used to only be able to do a dick jab, but yeah, this is actually 0 on hit, so that's good, and knocks down on counter hit, I believe. Maybe that was just the second hit, I think. No? Let's try that again. It does knock down. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. So yeah, the second hit grants you a knockdown. Next you have your down back 2, your Marduk stealing move. Before Marduk got into this game, this was actually very solid, and it still is pretty solid, you know. It's 24 frames though, so it's extremely slow, arguably seeable. 20 damage, yeah, and 14 on block, so very risky, you know. Most people either have 14 frames, you know, or some are blessed with even 13, so that's the majority of the cast right there, and they can actually launch you for this. But it's +4, so yeah, you grab your plus. It's a counter hit knockdown. Yeah, so it's a counter hit knockdown. But now that Marduk is in the game, his counter hit gives you like, I think 50 or 60, something like that. Something extremely high. Yeah, just something for the developers to think about, you know. Down back 3. This move is weird. This move is weird. So it's his screw, right? His new screw that like everybody's like using. It's pretty good, right? His screw is really good, but this is the weird thing about this particular move, down back 3. It's actually -4, I think. Yeah, it's -4 on when you hit them. This move puts you on minus when you hit them, you know. But it does have the extension, so people have to want to block, or if you want to duck the high if you want, you know. Yeah, if you want to do that, but both of this could just be easily blocked. Yeah. So down back 3 by itself is 16 damage. Yeah, minus 20 on block. You getting this block, you're dead. You know. Yeah, and it's also minus 4 on hit, so you're eating negatives. You know. But it has mixed up properties. Because like you can do the full crouch, right? The follow up though, the high is actually safe at minus 9. The problem is, since it's a high and it's very, very telegraphed, this move, it's easily ducked, you know. But this is just something interesting that I realize a lot of people, whenever you play somebody online, and like, let's say if they're for some reason they're not on the controller, and you just don't want to wait anymore, if you don't actually manually hold back on the high, this still launches you. It's weird, yeah. But if they just hold back, they block the high, no problem anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna get into some setups with this move. We're gonna do that in the end of the section. Yeah, so this is new tailspin. It's a high, you know. It's good, it's good. You definitely need it. Okay, so now you have your down back 4. I actually do like this move a lot, because for such a big guy, you don't expect him to have such a fast low. Even though it's only 8 damage, it's extremely fast, right? And it synergizes really well with the while rising 1, right? So yeah, down back 4 into like a sissy low kick or something, right? Only 8 damage, 14 frames, but it looks super quick. High crush properties, you know, minus 13. Yeah, so it's minus 13, and it's also minus 2 on hit, you know. But if you do get that counter hit, she crouches a little bit longer, so you actually are at plus 3, you know. So on counter hit, you get much more out of that, you know. Next, I will actually add the sissy low kick, because it's just down 4, right? Also high crush, even though like technically even when he ducks, he's bigger than Chloe. Right, so that's kind of weird, but yeah, so that's what that is, and it's very good, you know. Just randomly end rounds, randomly start rounds too, you know, chipping away at their legs, you know. And then lastly, for his lows is his full crouch that I already alluded to earlier. His full crouch too. This is a counter hit launcher, you know, as you guys can see. Yeah, it's a counter hit launcher, normal hit launcher also, but you gotta like sidestep with it. It's finicky, like a lot of people drop it. Like, yeah, I see a lot of people drop it. Yeah, so that's what that is. It's a launcher on both now. What I used to do was just something like this, you know. But yeah, now it's a full-blown launcher. So he did get buffs in here. It's pretty bad though, but it's very rewarding, you know. It's very rewarding, and it does come with scares on its own, because your opponent has to try to block, you know. If you do this alone, you know, it goes into it. Yeah, so it's very rewarding, but it's very bad on block. So, you know, so that's been not Chloe, that has been Gigas and Chloe lows. So you guys, it is that time, that fun time throughout the day when you talk about launchers. Yeah, so I'm also gonna add counter hit launchers into here too. So then you have his down 2, not down forward 2 like most people, down 2. Yeah, down 2 is his 15 frame. It's only 13, but it actually starts the combo. So yeah, and Gigas does a lot of damage anyways, so yeah. That doesn't do a lot of damage, but you know. Minus 14. So if you get this blocked by a Brian, you're dead, you know. Jimmy J Tran must love playing against this guy. Yeah, so you get this block, you're dead. It is a normal hit launcher, and it's very good on like whiff punishment. Your opponent swings just in the air randomly because you're so far, they're trying to bait you in. You miss, you're launched, you know. This also launches Paul's Death Fist very comfortably. Far moves like that. Yeah, so down 2 is decent. It is what it is, you know. And another one of his launchers is forward 2 1. The second move is the actual launcher, like guaranteed. Yeah, I talked about this already. Is high high. The first move has to be a counter hit launcher, which I'll get to. Then you have down forward 3 into that second hit. Yeah, the 1+2. It's a mid 16 frame launcher, but it is a launcher nonetheless, because this new move in season 3. Yeah, so you can actually convert now. It is a launcher, very high damage, very good at like while traveling also. But yeah, so that's what that is. You have back 1. This move has a lot of people having mixed feelings about it. I can see why. So it is launch punishable, right? It's launch punishable. 15 frame, 20 damage, right? But the thing is, I like it because look at how evasive it is. Super evasive, and it sort of like comes up from the ground. Look, yeah, it's super evasive. 20 damage, and yeah, it's launch punishable. If you do certain things at the wall, like good Oki, right? You can actually get that for an extra hit. If they do try to get up, you actually can relaunch them. So yeah, this is actually very good. Has its flaws, but yeah, you kind of have to play Gigas that way, you know. You have to play him in like sort of a riskier way. 4 for 1+2. This thing hits from like downtown, you know. Yeah, so 4 for 1+2 is extremely far. Got follow-ups in case you want to like you know, you think your opponent's gonna do anything, you know. The thing is, if it's a follow-up, you don't get anything guaranteed. That launches because it refloated, but you don't get anything guaranteed from that. Yeah, good for like hitting the wall though. Very delayable. Yeah, so it is what it is. It's almost like Jack's run up hug, you know, feeling the love. While standing 3. While standing 3 is his while crouching normal launcher. This thing has range, but besides from that, nothing else. Yeah, it's a normal hit launcher, 25 damage, 18 frames, which is extremely slow. Yeah. Full crouch down forward 2 is a launcher now. Yeah. Actual launcher now. The new down back 3 combo gives this launching properties. Yeah, you technically this is a launcher, but I still think it's a really bad move. Sidestep 2. Yeah, the thing about this move is it instant tail spins. So yeah, you have to convert just from that alone. But yeah, instant tail spins. It does hit from downtown. You got to give credit where credit is due, right? It's very far, but yeah, it's just a really like non-great move. He technically has a jump kick with a delay for. You know, yeah, Gigas has everything. You know, hashtag nerf Gigas. You know, yeah. So he actually does have a jump kick. Figured I put that in there just to be thorough. And then in his stance, Golem stance, he actually does have the 1. I do this all the time. It's pretty nice. Now it's not safe, but the thing is, the 1 actually is a launcher. A lot of crushing involved, you know. Goes right under things. If people try to jab during that right here during the 3rd, this crushes them, no matter what. Yeah, so it has a lot of crushing. You can go into certain other things too, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I think it used to be safe or something like that, so that it did take a hit, but it's okay. Now for counter hit, you have your forward 2, And I mentioned why this move was so great, you know. Actually, just keep counter hit on for this whole section. Why not? Okay, so you know this move hits from like Nowheresville, right? But also the extension still counter hits. You know, not the second move, but the first move. So yeah, it's still technically a counter hit, right? You have your up forward 3. This knee is pretty nice to start off rounds with. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Very quick. No, not very quick, but crushing properties, you know. So this is 17 damage, but I think with counter hit on it does 20. So let's just go with that. Okay, so it's 20 damage on counter hit. And 20 damage on counter hit, and it's 22 frames. Not that fast. He does have to like set up, but you know, it is safe. You know, you got to throw it out randomly. It is safe at -3. And if it's not a counter hit and it's a regular hit, it actually is a +8. So yeah, that's that. Then you have your forward 4-2. I alluded to how good this move was. That only does 45. Yeah, so a lot of damage. This move, that's why you should be scared of Gigas, because of this move right here, you know. Without wall, that does what, over half your life just from the one combo. Yeah, massive damage. Previous seasons, this was a high, the second move, but the trade-off was it was a high, easily duckable, but it was safe. This move is very telegraphed, but it was safe, you know. Personally, I like that more because now this mid is actually like punishable, the second mid. So yeah, what if I just wanted to stop and not do the high, you know? I preferred that more. There's nothing really stopping your opponent from just holding back now, you know? Yeah, at least before you can actually force them to do a duck, or if they really want to, you know, crush, you know, launch you or whatever. So yeah, I like the old way more, but that's what he has, so gotta deal with that. You have your down back 3-2. That's a counter hit launcher now. If the first low hits, the second thing definitely will hit you and launch you for free. There are a lot of like setups with this. I'll get to some during that section, but yeah, that's counter hit launcher. Also the second one, if it just hits by itself, that does not have to be counter hit. That launches you anyways, so yeah. The second hit by itself launches you. So down back 3 is -4, even though it was on hit, and the second move is a -9, so it's safe high. Yeah, so that's his counter hit. That's his regular launchers and counter hit launchers. So you guys came here because you want to learn how to get into Gigas' stances, huh? Yeah, so his stance transitions, he actually has 2 stances. His Golem and his Goliath. That's a really weird stance because you're moving forward, right? But yeah, that's his other stance. Now, to get into Golem is down back 3+4. Figured I give that because there are certain situations where that's like pretty good actually. But only by wall, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so this is his manual entry, and to get out of it, you just do down back, or pretty cool, which is up back. It never used to shake the screen, so I'm glad it does. It's pretty cool, right? Very safe. I randomly you gotta do that. Just check your opponent out, you know. Just play safe, you know. You got your hit. You're winning, you know. Just bail out. Stay at the range you want to. 4-4-2, whatever. But yeah, so I actually do like this move a lot. It's pretty safe. Yeah, so those are the 2 ways to get out of stance. Now, how do you get into stance? Well, you have your, what I just did, 2-1, and then you click 3-4. You get into Golem right away, and then you're at +7, go right into stance. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, so +7, get right into stance. And then you also have your forward 2, down 1. And then you got to click the 3+4. That goes into stance. Yeah, this is a -2 1 block, but it's 13 on hit. Watch this. You see that? The combo meter doesn't like leave. That's guaranteed. You know, as far as the combo together. But yeah, only 92. Yeah, so that's how you get into Golem. That's how you get into Golem. So what about Goliath, right? So Goliath, you can manually do it. It catches people off guard because I have done this before, right? But it's just forward 3+4, and then he'll start this like stomping tirade of his, right? And also, if he has rage, you guys can see the rage already, but I'll figure I'll add it in here. It's hold forward 3+4. Yeah, so that's how you get into that. And other ways in moves is back 2. Charge back 2 gets into that. This move is 40 damage plus 15. If they get hit by it, it's a guaranteed knockdown, guaranteed wall splat. But during the wall splat, if he's doing in Goliath, it's really hard to hit them. There's nothing you can really do, you know, because he has to have that full run through. Yeah, so that's that. But then you also have forward 3-2, hold forward. You actually get that too. This move is pretty decent. Yeah, so forward 3-2. That's another way to get into it. It's plus 18. He collects plus frames, like no doubt, right? And it also gives you a mix-up because you don't know when your opponent wants to do it, you know. Or you could just do the 3 by itself, you know. Yeah, so it something there to play around with. Forward 4. Forward 4 is 40 damage. Mid also gives knockdown, just like back 2. Now, check this out. His back 2, it pushes you pretty far, right? You get your mix up with whatever it is, right? But look at the difference between the punch and the kick. The punch puts you that far. The kick, way farther, right? So this has like a slightly longer charge up time, but vastly superior pushback. Yeah, so if you want to aim, if you know your opponent's gonna block, and you want to get them to wall, if you're a very good Gigas player, you're very competent, this will be very, very rewarding. It gives you much more scare factor, I would say, you know, pushes them right to the wall. Yeah, so that's that. And then lastly, to get into this stance, you have your wall rising to hold for, which is just the same kick again, right? Yeah, so it's worthy to note that like this will work anyways. So yeah, sometimes aim for that, you know, get that plus 19 if you guys really like to. Yeah, it gives a knockdown on hit. And yeah, that's how you get into his stances. Okay, we are back talking about the stances. So for stances, he has his golem jump back, right? I mentioned how good this move is. Cool animation from the wall, from the screen, all shakes, right? It's pretty good. Like that little extra effect. But then you have your one is your launcher, mid launcher. Yeah, full combo. Yeah, one is really good. And you also get your mix up now with the grab. So yeah, the grab is a high, right? The grab is a high. So for people who are bad at breaking grabs, what do they want to do? They want to duck, right? So because they want to duck, you have your mid launcher. Give that a little extra wall travel if anything. Unnecessary, but yeah. So those two are like synergizing as best as they could. It's not the best, but it's what you have, right? So the grab is 1+2. It's extremely fast. This does 55 in the neutral, but it does like 100 and 1050 on wall. This does almost half your life, like a good 40, 48, 49% of your life, you know. Yeah, it's a very strong grab. It's called the overkill, you know. So yeah, very strong grab. And now you have your Golem 2. Golem 2 is safe. Wall splat. And certain situations, this actually like hits ground. Like if they're just laying down, like on the wall or something, right? This actually hits ground too. Yeah, but besides from that, what else can you do in Golem? Because these are like everything that's really inside of his moves list. Well, in Golem, you can do whatever you want. You know, Golem is just the stance for you to use these particular moves. But look, you can do whatever you want. You know, you cancel out of it too. Yeah, cancel out of it. You know, yeah. So you can do whatever you want. Yeah. So Golem isn't really a stance to. Yeah, it isn't really a stance to like stay in stance, because you can do certain things out of it too. But yeah, so that's what that is. Definitely tricks your opponent up if they don't know you can do that. And then you have your Goliath. Now from Goliath stance, you guys seen it before, the classic 1-2 combo, right? So this is one. It is a mid, right? Safe on block, parryable though. So you know, Leroy's out there nowadays. But yeah, so it's parryable. But the interesting thing about the high, which is 2, not parryable. It explodes. Yeah, do you guys see how that does 40 damage, right? Now watch what happens when you let him run. Let him finish it. Somehow it does more, right? The farther you let him go with that, the more it does. So yeah. I never tested it, but I wonder if that works with the other with 1-2. It does. Okay, so as long as you let them run, he actually does more damage, much more riskier. So you get much more reward out of it. It seems like that's kind of how they want him to be played, right? But yeah, so there has been those times, you know, when you get that run, you need that extra damage, and then you finish it off, you know. Big damage. Yeah, super big damage. Charge back 2 goes right into it, you know. From his rage, figure I mentioned this now. From his rage, he has the same combos, but he also has. See how long that's been? It's still in his rage. That's because this is natural in the rage. You can do that. And what happens from there? Let's put everything to all guard. Actually, it doesn't really matter since it's unblockable, but you'll see what I'm trying to do. So after this, she blocks that. This next high, regardless, is guaranteed. That means even if she starts ducking, since she already got hit with this, it doesn't even matter. This is guaranteed. So with the race drive, you either, for me, do the high, right? Because you get that naturally, regardless. If your opponent holds block, they get hit. Or if they try to duck, you know, they realize, oh snap, I messed up, you know. He's not going for the one that I thought. He's charging up now. Now you can go for your free high, you know. So yeah, this is mid. It can definitely hit you, knock you down, you know. Yeah, so you're gonna collect the free move if this hits anyways, right? Or you get your free high. Now, if you guys think about it, a mid you have to block, right? And a high you can also block high, but if it's unblockable, what do? You gotta duck. If you duck, then the mid will catch you. So even though both of that isn't really a 50-50, it is at the same time, you know. Yeah, that's really interesting in this game, right? Yeah, so that's the running series. And he also has other follow-ups. Let's say if people are trying to parry you and you see that. That takes so long, it throws off the tempo, and then they'll actually get hit by that, you know. Free follow-up, you know. But not just that, like if you want to do the running series, you know, you can do whatever out of that. You know, people do not see that coming, you guys. They do not see that coming. But yeah, so that's just the scare. You know, sometimes I like to just do the down 3 just like that, get that extra hit just to finish them off if they don't have any life left. People, whenever they do their rage drive, I mean their rage art, right, if he does this, he completely shakes them out of it. And then if you saw that, no one expects the high. They always get clipped by it. Yeah, so this breaks through the rage drive. If you have Zafina, when she gets into like her tarantula stance and like her weird bottom low stances, even if you're stomping like that and it breaks a lot of people off, she stays comfortably on the ground and not get hit by that, you know. So that's just worthy to note. But yeah, so back to the down 3. It's a good little unexpected low, but the thing is, people are gonna randomly duck because they think it's a high anyways. So it's not a good mix up per se, but it's a little extra. Oh, he went for that, you know. That's his stances. All right, you guys. So this is the special properties move that has like other type of abilities, and this is when you really see how bad Gigas is as a player. As a character. Most of his moves don't do anything because this section is pretty short. So for homing moves, you have your 4/4 1+2, right? 4/4 1+2. Yeah, you guys remember that launch punishable, right? Second hit, and then you also have your sidestep 2 for homing move, and then you also have, don't forget this, nothing else. Yeah, so that's his homing moves right there. Some moves like this tracks, as you guys can see, like this would definitely track one side, you know, but no real true homing moves, right? So that's a little bit disappointing. For his power crush, he has this special properties one that eats everything. And let's say if you're like dragging up, you do your running 2, right? Something that's pretty bad on whiff, right? If you do that, he can just launch you for it. He can eat hits. This saved me from like round losses a couple of times, right? But it's very, very situational, and a lot of times you're doing it just out of nowhere, doing nothing. You know, like a Leroy. Yeah. So a lot of times you're just doing this for no reason. But there are those times when it gets to clip you though. It doesn't really work close range, right? But if you see your opponent far, you can try it. Throw a couple out there, you know. Maybe collect a free launch or something, you know. So yeah. What else is for power crush? You have your down 1+2. Down 1+2 is great. Look at this. It's not gonna hit this far, but look how close he gets to him. He's back at jab range, you know. This thing hits extremely far, like ranges you don't even think it could hit. Like it's amazing. It's a pretty good move. It's -14 though. Yeah, -14. So you're eating a paw back 3. You know, you're eating a lunch. But yeah, it's mixed reviews, but I really like the move personally. It's so far, you know, really good wall splat too. Yeah, so it's very easy to combo with. I really like it. Really good gap closing tool. You know, so I do suggest you randomly use it. Yeah, you could continue your aggression just fine with that move, you know. Yeah, little crush properties. I think like you can see that he ducks. Like that's Gigas ducking, right? Seems like it. Yeah, and then he splats his hand downwards, so it's a mid. Yeah, so I like it. 30 damage. I wouldn't ask for much more from a wall splat power crush, you know. So yeah, very advantageous for you to use that move. And then for other wall bounce, he has one more. Even though he's such a big character, he should have like 5, you know. So he has one more wall bounce, which is the 2 now. The 2 is a wall bounce. There are certain situations which I can definitely get to where he can use that, but overall, you know, it's just like whatever. It's good to have, so no complaints here, especially because most of his moves are like just normal hitting moves, don't do anything extra, you know. So having an extra wall bounce never hurts. Definitely need it. Okay, so now we're gonna go to his screws. So technically, just get this one screw out the way. That's technically a screw, even though it's a launcher. Sidestep 2. Sidestep 2 is a screw, so can't really launch with it though. Like if you ground breaker or whatever, you can't just do that. It's way too slow on startup. It's not gonna work. But if they figure out a way to do that, that would be pretty nice, you know. Yeah, so what are his actual screws? 4, 2, 1. Also a natural combo, the second hit, you know. But 4, 2, 1 is a screw. Look at that. That's just 4 hits by itself. And then you know he's gonna do his ground pound, you know. So yeah, 4, 2, 1, and then down forward 2, 1. This move is good for the like those random things you don't know when what's gonna connect. Yeah, that always seems to hit. You randomly do want to do this if your opponent jumps a lot, right? You might be able to collect a float or whatever. So yeah, and then his last one is down back 3, 2, the new one that they gave. So before that, before this season, he didn't even have that. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, this move is pretty good. Counter hit launcher too. You know, it's great. So that's it for special properties, and that's why he's so bad. He doesn't really have anything extra. You know, you can talk about how clunky and big he is. That's true. You know, most of his moves are extremely slow on startup. Yeah, but it also doesn't help that he doesn't have anything extra. You know, give him an extra wall bounce or power crush. He's a big guy. He should be able to power crush through most things. You know, if you give him more of these, at least he has a fighting chance. He'll definitely increase in a tier list, I think. You know, might not be number 1. You know, a lot of his moves frames aren't that great, but yeah, definitely needs something extra. But this is what you have. Yeah, so his screw seems to be fine for what he is because he's still big, but he definitely needs more homing moves, more power crushes, more wall bounce just because he's big. You know, if he could push you back so far, why shouldn't he be able to wall bounce you also, you know? Yeah, so that's his special properties. Still love this guy, little big gentle giant guy. I like him a lot, you know. But yeah, that's his special properties. Welcome back, you guys. We are here with my full tutorial on Leonardo. Yeah, so this is Gigas. This is going to be talking about his mix-ups and setups and stuff like that. Okay, so normal combo. That's his normal combo. 80 damage, pretty good. Also, instead of this combo, you could do something like you know, that or that, you know. But yeah, so that's generally his normal combo. Everybody knows about his grab, right? His grab takes out Hellas, you know. There are ways to like mix up your normal moves into that grab. And yeah, so down forward 2, you guys know there's an extension, right? What do you do in an extension? You block it, right? You know, so grab, bang, right? You also have the back one too. This puts you on plus frames. What do you do on plus frames? You block, right? You know, you block and you either get hit with this, or you can just go straight for the grab, you know. If they're blocking anyway, just go straight for the grab. Why not? This grab is for you, you know. Let's just look at it on the wall real quick. Almost 50%. It's about 49 and a half. You know, almost 50%. And then you have his 4-4-4. Yeah, they have to block the second hit because this thing is gonna kill them, you know. Yeah, block the second hit, so yeah, you have to block it or else you die, you know. Yeah, or else you die. And then his down back 2. This is very easily bufferable. What it means to buffer is during this animation, you see, like, my hands are still free, right? So after this animation, during it, you can actually still do the whole grab animation and grab. So, yeah, that's what that means. It's very easy, very comfortable to do. Yeah, so that's down back, and then you have the forward too. And remember that there's that extra extension here, right? Yeah, so by wall, this would be where it's at, right? Either they get hit by this whole thing, or they get in that grab. I'm okay either way, you know. Down 3. Most people know this as the 2-piece, right? But he runs in, so that's perfect too. All of these grabs are really annoying, but they really work, you know. This. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Tons of damage, tons of damage. And lastly, this is just something that I just goes right into his grab, you know. The 2-1 goes straight into the grab. But watch this. Look at the combo meter. That's right. Leonardo's been lifting weights. That takes out 92. Because if this is delayed, down 1, forward 2, down 1, the grab is not guaranteed, but the grab adds to the combo meter. You know, I've done that on wall. You know, just got to get in the stance and then, yeah, really quick. They have to break or else they're dead. So much damage. So much damage. Now we are going to talk about like refloat situations. You guys remember the normal combo, right? Now imagine this. You saw what just happened? The combo actually went back to 24. The only thing is during refloats, you can't do another bound. You know? You can't do another bound, so you get one, but you get a little mini combo after that. So it's pretty decent. You guys saw the 4-4-4, right? Yeah. And then after that, let's say if they want to lay down, because this beats up all options, right? Right. If they want to. Okay, so let's say if Akuma here doesn't want to lay down, he wants to get up, right? This would actually not work. That would not work. Let's show that. Let's just roll whatever, right? Wait. You see he missed completely. All that is from the back. So what can you do in that situation? It's a 50-50. It's either he lays down or he tries to get up. Okay? So if he lays down, you get that extra combo. If he gets up, you get the forward. You get the forward 4. Yeah. And that'll beat him getting up. So he can block, but what happens is he forces himself into a 50-50 situation. Right? So you automatically go for charge setups, you know, because he's running into that no matter what. Yeah, he gets up, he's going into that. So all right, so now we're going to talk about wall setups. Let's get my man to the wall. My man says to the wall. Okay. So from wall setups, what do you have? Let's just wall splat him. Right? And then you have 4-2-1. Right? You guys, this is his normal combo. Let's just do this. This is most damaging one. 61. Okay, so that's what we need to beat, right? 61. 61. Right. Keep him on the wall. Yo, you guys see that? Akuma did not get up. And what happens when he didn't get up? He takes the full charge back to the face. Right? So it's the regular one, so he gets that. So how much was that? 52 plus 24. Instead of 61, that's 52 plus 24. Yeah, so that already took out more. So just a quick note. If Akuma does want to get up, let's you know, put him up, right? If Akuma does want to get up, he gets up either to the actual back to attack, or he gets up to block and then gets up another 50-50. You're advantageous anyways, and you're only doing a little bit less. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's a really dirty setup. Really, really dirty setup. So now we're going to go to his next one. Okay, so let's get him to the wall. If you do that fast enough, the shoulder charge, that actually connects when he gets up or when he's on the ground. So that will connect if he's trying to get up. But let's say if he just does a random kick, right? Yeah, let's say if he just does a random kick, right? It eats it. It eats it and it kills him. Yeah, so you got go for the low, right? Whatever. It eats it. Yeah. But you guys are saying, Stranger, what if he just lays down? It doesn't do anything, right? If he lays down, it still hits them. It still hits them. So what was that other one? 61? Yeah, so that's 51 plus 24. Already better than the normal combo. You know? Gigas, the way to use them is you gotta do a lot of setups, man. You gotta do tons of setups. Okay, so let's work on his key charges, right? Let's get this guy to wake up, because this guy, you know. So we're gonna stay here. If you guys remember the combo, right? You go for the bound. Instead of going for any other forwards or whatever, any this to like wall travel, you can do this. Charge back 2. You guys saw that? He gets up right away, right? And then you're already in the very end of your Goliath. So you saw that? That actually happens pretty often. This is a scrub killer until they see it. You know, this is a crazy move. So they sometimes do tend to get up and block down because they see you do it so much to them now, right? And you guys can already guess the mix-up. You guys are ahead of me. You're smart. You got the mid. Okay? But now you're saying, what if you lay down? Laying down is a good option. Because you see what happens is even the mid loses to that, right? Even the mid. So you can jump on him. You can jump on him for that jump, and then the guaranteed down 2. So yeah, that it's pretty neat. There's been occasions where this actually breaks the wall, you know. Okay, so let me just do this. Make him forced to come over, right? And I want to show you guys this. Okay, so watch what happens. You see that? If we get him a little bit, If he gets up, you can actually break the ground, right? Okay. So now, I want to talk about this little mini combo that's really interesting. You guys seen this? This used to be the old combo, right? It's actually this one, right? It did nothing. Now this is a launcher, so it outbeats everything, right? But if you just do the down 3, you actually get a free back 2 if they get up. Yeah, let's just give him a back turn, right? That's what happens. That's what happens. Interesting interaction with that. There are sometimes when there's a float and then you use the mid jab, right? And it doesn't actually, you know. Sometimes if you do a mid jab, if you just do down 3, you at least get the back 2. Okay, so like let's say if they're jumping and you can't do anything, just do it down 3 and then you at least get a mix up. You at least get the Goliath mix up. But yeah, this has changed now because it's a launcher now, you know. So yeah. Also, just worthy to note, this thing right here, if you don't use it as a launcher, you can just still do this. Piss people off, and you can right here you can do 2 more or just do it while rising, you know. You get that free launch, whatever you want to do, right? Yeah, so that's guaranteed. That's pretty good. Yeah, that little random little mini combo that I knew, right? All right, you guys, so now we are going to talk about Gigas's get up option. This is a interesting option. Let's see if I can do it as a reset, right? Player status, face up and down. Okay, yeah, so this is where he's at. You guys got the normal low, right? You have the mid, right? And he doesn't have like a spring kick, but what he has instead is this, right? It's pretty good, pretty good. It does 20 damage by itself, very far. But let's put Akuma on block and let's see what happens. Yeah, so this is pretty good. If your opponent gets hit by the move itself, you actually can just match out a jab and it picks them up, which is more than a 20, right? That's more than a 20, yeah? Whatever you want to do. But yeah, so that's pretty neat. It's worthy to note that Miguel, Paul got this too, you know. All right, so last things last, you guys, we got to actually go back to the stage reset, because if I'm gonna teach you, then I'm gonna teach you, okay? And this is a pretty decent setup. So we need Akuma to get over here, so let's force him over. Just repeat action and then just force him to move. Yeah, we'll just start and he'll just move over to us. That's all we want him to do. We want him to be this way anyways, so I have stuff to break ground. Yeah, so instead of doing a combo, just key charge. When he gets up, you get that for free. If he gets up, you get the down back 3-2 for free. And the reason you do is, you know, you key charge, everything next becomes a counter hit. Your opponent realizes, oh, he didn't swing at me, bang, you got that for free. That was pretty nasty, right? Yeah, so I do that all the time. I actually like won a couple of ranked matches doing that too. But if they realize you're doing some fishy stuff, they're gonna lay on the ground. You got that covered. You got that covered. So what? And also, this is a ground hitting move, so this will hit them anyways. You're not at a huge loss, you know. So yeah, you guys saw that. You know, if they do stand up and try to block low, you know, because you're doing this to them a lot, you can free launch them anyways. Get out of here, you know. So yeah, this has been my very in-depth Gigas tutorial. It has setups. They got everything you can think about in here. So if you guys found it entertaining, if you guys actually learned something, which I know you probably did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, okay? This is Stranger Danger. Let me know how else I can make this better for you guys, okay? We are going to keep popping out these videos. Stranger Danger from Silhouette Gaming. Peace out.